In the winter of 1916, France was bleeding. The Western Front had been frozen in stalemate for over a year. Lines of trenches carved the land from the North Sea to the Swiss border, a continent locked in mud and wire. Paris stood silent, under gray skies and constant fear. The men at the front were ghosts, half buried in the earth, half alive in memory. France had survived the Marne, but at a terrible cost. Every village carried a graveyard, every family a loss. And far to the east, on a quiet bend of the Meuse River, rose a city the world had nearly forgotten. Verdun. A fortress built in the Middle Ages, surrounded by forts and hills, it was the gateway to France's heart and the symbol of her honor. "If Verdun falls," whispered one officer, "France will follow." The wind carried that fear through every trench. By February 1916, 60 million men were already locked in the greatest war the world had ever seen. And Verdun was about to become its crucible. Verdun was not chosen by chance. By early 1916, German Chief of Staff Erich von Falkenhayn believed he had found a way to break the deadlock. He would strike where France could never retreat, not for resources, not for land, but for pride. "We will bleed France white," he wrote to the Kaiser. "We will make them come to us and die." Verdun, sitting on a narrow salient in eastern France, was perfect. Surrounded on three sides, poorly supplied, and heavy with symbolism. If it fell, it would crush French morale and open the road to Paris. Behind German lines, 100 artillery pieces were hidden under camouflage. Trains carried millions of shells day and night. The operation had a simple name: Unternehmen Gericht, Operation Judgment. On the other side, France had no idea of the storm about to come. The forts around Verdun had been stripped of guns and men to reinforce other fronts. Only a few thousand soldiers held the line. "They won't attack Verdun," some officers said. But by February 21, 1916, the sky over the Meuse erupted in fire. At 7:15 in the morning, the guns opened fire. 1,000 cannons roar from the German side of the Meuse. The sky turns gray, then black. Within minutes, Verdun vanishes beneath a curtain of fire and steel. Shells fall every second, a rain of iron that lasts for 9 hours. Forests are shredded into splinters. Villages disappear from the map. Men in trenches cling to the earth, screaming, praying, waiting. It was not a battle, one French survivor would say. It was a storm made of metal. Under General von Falkenhayn's plan, the Fifth Army, led by Crown Prince Wilhelm, moves forward. Tens of thousands of troops surge from their bunkers, advancing behind the rolling barrage. At the tip of the spear, elite stormtroopers, gas masks on, bayonets fixed. By nightfall, the first line of French defense has collapsed. Fort Douaumont, the largest fortress of Verdun, stands silent. Its garrison, fewer than 60 men. When German troops approach, the French defenders surrender without firing a shot. Douaumont falls, almost without a sound. "Verdun's shield is broken," one German officer writes. "The rest will crumble." But in Paris, a new name is whispered: Philippe Pétain. Pétain takes command. Pétain arrives at Verdun under rain and smoke. His orders are simple: hold, whatever the cost. He reorganizes the front, rotates the troops, and turns a single muddy road, La Voie Sacrée, the sacred way, into Verdun's lifeline. Every minute, trucks rumble through, bringing food, shells, and men. Day and night, a convoy of 20,000 vehicles. If one breaks down, The driver behind pushes it aside and keeps going. Verdun is breathing, barely. "Courage," Pétain tells his men. "They shall not pass. Ils ne passeront pas." Those 4 words echo through the trenches like a prayer, and Verdun, once forgotten, becomes a vow. Fort Vaux. By June, the battle has turned into a nightmare. Rain mixes with blood. The air smells of powder and rot. Deep inside Fort Vaux, Commandant Sylvain Raynal and his 600 men are surrounded. Water is gone. Ammunition runs low. German troops crawl through tunnels, throwing grenades and flamethrowers. Raynal radios his last message. "Nous tiendrons jusqu'au dernier." We will hold to the last. For 6 days they fight in the dark. When the fortress finally falls, even the Germans salute their bravery. "These men fought like lions," one German soldier says quietly. "Hell on the Meuse." The front now is nothing but mud, bones, and fire. The constant bombardment has reshaped the earth. Hills flattened, forests vaporized. Every inch of ground is bought with blood. The German 6th Division attacks again and again, but the French 75mm guns answer without pause. Whole regiments disappear in smoke. "We advance by meters," a German corporal writes, "and die by thousands." In the chaos, men lose sense of time. Days and nights blur together. Soldiers fight, sleep, and die in the same holes. At Verdun, one veteran recalls, "Hell was not below us, it was all around." Turning the tide by July, the French counterattack begins. Pétain's artillery now outnumbers the Germans. Every hill, every ridge, reclaimed inch by inch. The morale of the French army, once near collapse, burns bright again. The forts of Douaumont and Fleury change hands more than a dozen times. Each assault costs thousands of lives for a few hundred meters. On the German side, Falkenhayn grows desperate. His plan to bleed France white is backfiring. Germany is bleeding too. "We have created a monster," one staff officer confides. "Verdun devours us all." Autumn, the counterstroke. By October, France strikes back. Pétain, now promoted, gives command to General Nivelle. The guns thunder once more, a hurricane of steel. The French retake Fort Douaumont, the same fortress lost in February. Smoke pours from the shattered dome as tricolor flags rise again above the ruins. Morale surges like a heartbeat. Inside the fort, the smell of burnt cordite and death. But for the first time in months, the French soldiers are the ones advancing. "Verdun lives," a war correspondent writes. "France lives with it. 10 months of fire." By December 1916, Verdun is no longer a place. It's an open wound. The hills around the Meuse are cratered moonscapes. Even trees no longer stand, only stumps and bones. Nearly 60 million shells have been fired, a rhythm of thunder that never stopped for 10 months. "If you have not been at Verdun," a French sergeant says, "you will never understand what courage means." The artillery fades. The screen slows to a gray still. Verdun did not fall. But no one left Verdun unbroken. By December, Verdun had devoured everything: men, land, and hope. The German offensive had lost its strength. Months of endless shelling, rain, and counterattacks had broken the will of both sides. On December 18, 1916, the guns finally fell silent. Verdun remained in French hands, but at an unimaginable cost. Over 700,000 men were killed, wounded, or missing. The ground itself was poisoned, carved into a lifeless moonscape. No tree, no bird, no grass survived, a French nurse wrote. Only the earth remembers their names. The victory was hollow, yet sacred. For France, Verdun became a symbol, not of triumph, but of endurance. The phrase, "Ils ne passeront pas," they shall not pass, echoed through generations. On the German side, Verdun was seen as a mistake, a wound that bled for nothing. General Falkenhayn was dismissed, and the dream of breaking France faded into the mud of the Meuse. As snow fell over the ruins, soldiers on both sides looked upon the devastation and wondered, was it worth it? Verdun did not fall, but humanity did. Verdun was more than a battle. It was a message carved in stone and blood, that the human spirit can endure even when logic says it cannot. For 10 months, men fought not for conquest or glory, but to prove that surrender was not in their vocabulary. Every hill, every trench, every ruined fortress became part of a single sentence. We still stand. From that fire came a lesson that still burns today, that war consumes everything, nations, faith, youth, and leaves only silence in its wake. But amid the ashes, Verdun also revealed something unbreakable. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to face it again and again, day after day, shell after shell. Ils ne passeront pas. They did not pass. And because of that, the world learned the price of endurance and the meaning of sacrifice. Verdun, 1916. The fire that never died. Cinematic history.